Chamillionaire!
Come on, let's tell me.
What's up, buddy?
Man, feeling good, man. Feeling good.
Welcome to B96. We are the Messiah of the Midwest.
No, I'm the Messiah mixtape, so we all good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 1, 2, and 3.
So you got a big album coming out today.
Yeah, Ultimate Victory.
Ultimate Victory.
Man, big album, sophomore album. You know, they always talk about the sophomore jinx and all that type of stuff. So, you know, I'm trying to get past that. I want everybody to go cop the album. It's definitely a step up from my last album, Sound of Revenge. Everybody knows about Riding Dirty and the success that album has. So,
hey, you know what? We always had so many jokes, like Mrs. Philip.
Oh, yeah.
Riding Dirty.
Well, why not clean out the seats?
Riding Dirty. We explain what Riding Dirty is for Mrs. Philip.
Riding dirty is the concept that a lot of people can relate to this, because it's like the police, every time they pull you over, they get behind you, and whether you're doing something illegal or not, you might be, you know, kind of wondering if your seatbelt's on, or, you know, a lot of people really do ride dirty, and that basically means that you're doing something illegal.
Yes. Now
you're riding with something illegal.
Oh, but I heard this Chamillionaire. I thought he was a white news anchor. My daughter showed me that video.
Oh, you thought that was me? A lot of people get me mistaken for that guy. Bob Wiley.
Yeah, so what's the deal with your evening news?
Well,
political analyst now, or
I shot the video for Hip Hop Police and Evening News together, and I was trying to convince the label, like, you know, we need to create a visual for some of these images, you know what I mean? Because nowadays, like, you get in the studio with a lot of rappers and behind the scenes, and they start talking about all this stuff that's wrong with the world and labels, and then when we have our forum called music, we never talk about that type of stuff. So I figured, you know what, I do a video and make a visual for it, but the only difference is, when I pictured it in my head, I didn't picture myself being a white newscaster. And the director, Mark Claswell, he was like, you know, it'd be more powerful if you were a white newscaster. And he's like, man, just look at the prosthetics, just look at it. And I looked at it and I was like, nah, no way, I can't do this, you know, because I don't want it to be corny. And he's like, I swear if it's corny, I'll take it completely out the video. And then I was like, you sure?
White guy.
Yeah. Once I got in the costume, I felt powerful. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean?
What did it feel like to be a white guy for a day?
I mean, I was like, you know, on the set.
I
was on the set hollering at all. Yeah, he said cabs were stopping. You know, the police weren't messing with me. You know, but it was cool because after getting into the costume, it takes like 4 hours to get into the costume. And the neck was kind of stiff on it, so I was kind of walking kind of stiff, and they were like, wow, you got the mannerisms down and everything.
Forgot how to dance.
Yeah, so it was funny. It was real cool, but after I got into the the costume and stuff, recently, you know, I actually decided to do some more online stuff, because we want to continue the character. Right. So we went to LA and went to Venice Beach, and we dressed up as Bob Wiley again. Yeah, it was some crazy people over there. Like, some people were walking by like it was normal, because there's some crazy people over there. And we're interviewing a lot of people about current events like George Bush and just all kind of stuff. You know, it's so funny to see people's responses to the white newscasting, you know.
Hey, did you hear a new survey out today says that hip-hop people and rock stars die early? Let me ask you something, Chamillionaire. Would you rather live 40 years of the hip-hop rock and roll lifestyle, party like a rock star, or would you rather live 70 years like a boring white guy?
70 years like a boring white guy?
No, or 70 years like a full family, you know, taking things.
In other words, your business is killing you young.
I wouldn't even change my life, so if I'm considered a rock star or rap star, then yeah, that's what I want to be.
You want to stay what you are?
Yeah.
Are you a party woman?
No, not really, man. I'm a square, man.
Oh.
Boring, man.
Well,
I'm boring. I work all day. On holidays, I work.
You have had a little bit of a change. What made you decide to kind of clean up your image?
It's not really cleaning up my image, because my image was already really like that, you know what I mean? I'm just being myself. Like, people are now finding out about me not cursing and stuff like that, but the funny thing is, I never really curse. It's just now clicking on people's heads, because after Don Imus and all this crazy stuff happened, they came to me like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna change up your stuff? And I was like, were you listening? Like, I wasn't even cursing, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh shoot, now press releases go everywhere. Chamillionaire's not cursing, he's changing his image. It's like, no, I always was that dude. I never smoked, you know what I'm saying? I don't drink.
I know one of your vices.
What? Get money?
No, you're a bowler.
Oh, they told you about that?
Oh, you're a bowler.
They told you about the bowling? But what did they tell you? Did they tell you the truth? Did they tell you the truth about the bowling? Like how I beat everybody on my tour bus?
You won't let anybody beat you.
Nah, that's not true. They can't beat
Michael
me.
Jordan in a bowling game.
Oh,
yeah, I am.
No,
I don't think you can beat me.
Let's go to long and bowling.
You can beat me at ping pong. See, the thing about me is, I don't talk trash at stuff I'm not good at. So everybody in my bus, they always try to talk trash to me and stuff. And I tell them, like, if you see me talking noise about it, you should be scared, because I'm good at it. I'm not gonna talk bad if I'm not. Like, they had never seen me play basketball before, and I was like, all right, man, you don't want to play against me? They're like, nah, let's go play on the court. Let's go play on the court. And then I dogged the whole bus.
That's very smart.
What's your bowling average?
whatever your average is gonna be higher than that. Hey, look, I'm a person that's like under pressure. Like if you bowl a strike, I bowl a strike right behind you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do. I'm like react real well under pressure. And it's funny because my homeboy, Big Ernest, who I got a car shop with, he was like telling me all the stuff about fishing. He was like, man, we need to go fishing. We need to go fishing. I was like, man, fishing sounds boring, man. I'm working. He was like, nah, man, trust me, it's relaxing. And I was like, all right, cool. I went fishing with him, right? And it was actually pretty fun because I'm watching him fish and he's rolling his rod into the water, you know what I'm saying? And he keeps on reeling it in all fast. And I'm looking at him like, man, you scaring off the fish, man. You got to make the rod look like a fish. He's like, how you going to tell me? I'm a professional fisher. So, is that even a word? Fisherman. Okay. So then I'm like, what do you mean you're a professional fisherman? He's like, man, I've been doing this for years. I've been catching fish. I'm like, all right, man, I feel like you just got to make love to the water. He's like, what you mean? I started doing this little R. Kelly wind-up dance, you know what I'm saying? And then right when I started doing it, I promise on everything, I caught a fish. And he's like, that's seaweed. I'm like, because I had caught seaweed before. I'm like, nah, this is a fish. And I pull it in, and it's a big old 38-inch long fish, right? And then he's like, oh, mad because he's the one that taught me how to fish, and I caught a fish, and I'm like throwing it in his face like, I told you.
Beginner's luck.
So I'm quiet on the side of the boat, and I'm looking over at him, and he's over there sad, but he's doing the wind-up dance, and he catches a fish. So I said, I told you, you got to make love to the water, man. And then, you know, after that, it was just like competition and everything. Bowling, pool tables, like I've been beating everybody.
Nobody has ever beaten you at ringtones.
Nobody.
How many?
I like how you plug that in there,
man.
man.
How many for riding, man? How many?
Man, 4 million plus, man. And to this day,
that's the #1 ringtone in the history of the world.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The white anchor men are walking around.
Yeah.
Everybody has it. Did you see the
know?
White House thing where somebody was like doing a White House secretary's speech or something like that, and then the ringtone went off and it was riding dirty? I was like, I think it is on YouTube, you know, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, you know, but the record started getting so big that even when I went overseas, people were like, yeah, I heard your version of Weird Al's song. And I was like, Weird Al's song, that's my song. Like, that's how his record took it to that.
But you liked what he did to your song.
Yeah, I did, because I think that's the reason why I really won the Grammy, because after he did a parody, it was like, well, we got to get the Grammy to this guy, you know what I mean? So, shout outs to Weird Al.
Now, there's a reason your new CD is not going to be leaked, right? Because you don't,
man,
you
hopefully
have, like,
not.
The ultimate atomic security, right? One engineer, what's the story with that?
Oh, yeah. Every time I do a CD, like, I don't like go around to all these other studios and stuff and just record all over these places. Like, even the label, they have to get the masters and the vocals from me, because I've had problems with stuff before where you record somewhere and then somehow it just mysteriously just shows up everywhere, and you're like, how does this keep happening? And people never really have an answer for it, but I always think it has something to do with the person that's recording it and the engineer. Like, if that music is there when you leave, it's gonna leak. So I make sure it can't leak if I'm the only one that has it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's impossible. So a lot of people can't deal with that, but even with this whole process of this Ultimate Victory album, it was kind of hard for people because they had to keep calling me, and I might be doing interviews, I might be busy. I'm like, you gotta wait till I'm done to get it, you know? And I gotta personally give it to them. So that's how serious I am with it, because you don't want to spend all this money. Like, people spend millions of dollars recording albums, you know? And then everything just leaks like way ahead in advance, you know?
Oh, we had 50 Cent in a couple weeks ago, and he was fuming about that video, the leak. Oh my God.
Like, how does that happen?
Yeah. And he knows how that.
Are you
Yeah.
pretty fascinated by this 50 Cent Kanye battle thing? It's like a heavyweight championship.
The 50 Cent thing and Kanye, everybody on my bus always kind of argues about it everywhere we go. We go to radio station, they always ask like, who's gonna win, 50 or Kanye? But to me, it was like, I spoke to 50, and for some reason, I looked him right in his eyes, and I'm like, man, I don't care, you're not superhuman, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a lot of pressure, and I know you act all tough, but I know inside of you, you're like, man, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, he looked me right in the face and said, there's no way Kanye can say it. And he looked so serious, like so confident. And I'm like, how does this dude have this much confidence? Like, there's no way you can be that superhuman like that. And if you are, I know he goes home and probably just like be crying, like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
He's worried about Kenny Chesney too, but he says he's not worried about Kenny Chesney.
Yeah, Kenny Chesney that's the big dog. I put my money on Kenny Chesney all the time.
So you think he'll come in ahead of Kanye and 50 Cent?
Yeah.
Really?